Welcome to another edition of For the Health of It. I'm your host, Corian K. Paget, and today we have a real legend with us, straight out of Gulfport, Mississippi. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you all the world famous Brittney Reese. Brittney, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
I'm doing quite well, quite well. Now, Brittney, we all know that you are, or for those of us that don't know, you have the world record in long jump.
I have
Go ahead.
the American record in the indoor.
Okay.
And I'm top 3 in the world far as overall jumps. So pretty close.
Okay. Well, my bad.
You're good. Hey, that's something that I'm going for. So, I mean, let's just speak it into existence.
There we go. All right. So, Brittney, I just mentioned you're from Gulfport. Give me a quick rundown of your amateur background, like your senior year, first year at JUCO, and then also your time at Ole Miss, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so I went to Gulfport High School, graduated in 2004 at Gulfport High. I ran track and I played basketball there. I won state my senior year in the long jump, high jump, and triple jump, if I'm not mistaken. Took a scholarship to play basketball at PERC, which is Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, and played there for 2 years. I was going to continue to play basketball, but some circumstances happened, and I decided to, my family, my mom and I decided that, maybe track and field is better for me. Mm-hmm. So I took a scholarship to the University of Mississippi, which is known as Ole Miss. When I was there, I was SEC champion in the long jump and placed second in the high jump and second in the triple jump. And a lot of people don't know, but I went professional early out of Ole Miss. And the reason why was because my coach thought that I needed to be challenged a little bit more.
Right.
I was jumping distances that could potentially win me medals. And being in college, I wasn't going to get pushed as much. So he decided that, maybe I just need to just forego the rest of my senior year and just stick to being a professional athlete, which ended up being the best decision.
Okay. Yeah, definitely it did. So from your senior year, May 2004 to May 2006, you didn't compete in track and field?
I did not.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. To take 2 years off. You ever thought about how do you think that sitting out for 2 years may have rehabilitated your body or gave you enough rest or something?
Possibly so. I've always been the type to jump. A lot of people also don't know that I used to can dunk. So it's not like I didn't have the hops to do it. So I can just back in my day, I can't do that mess now. But back in the day, I could dunk. So it was nothing. It wasn't really a hard transition from basketball to track. I mean, I felt like I just went right along and didn't miss a beat when I transitioned.
Right. So who was your track coach at Gulfport? Coach Floyd?
He was one of them. He was our assistant coach at that time. It was Coach Jones, Coach Prince Jones.
Yes, there we go. Coach Prince Jones. That's the Prince Jones relays. It's like the second or third weekend every weekend or every.
Yeah, I have yet to make one of those, and I'm getting close to retirement. So after my retirement, I'll be able to try to make at least one of them every year. So
okay, good deal. Now, who was your basketball coach at PERC at the time?
I think his name was Coach Walker. Yeah, we had a coach. We had two coaches. I couldn't remember the other name, but I think it was Coach Walker. But he was a great coach too. He retired maybe like a year or two after I was done.
Okay, good deal. All right, so you're at Ole Miss. You compete 1 year. You win the SEC championship, and then you go into you start training for the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
So what time frame are we looking at year-wise? It's about 2006, 2007?
So for me, I made my first team in 2007. I was still in college. I made my first Olympic team in 2008.
Okay, good deal. And that was in Beijing or Rio?
Yep, that was Beijing, my first ever, I was nervous.
All right. So chat me about that. Mississippi girl going all the way over to China.
Yeah, so when I made my first team, it was the first time I've ever been overseas in 2007. I was so nervous because I didn't know anybody. A lot of the other athletes, they were around my age at the time, but they had already been on like junior Olympic teams and things like that. So I didn't have any connection with nobody. I kind of like stuck to myself, which I still did in 2008. I stuck to myself, but it was a big learning experience for me. You know, I got to experience a lot of things that I probably would have never experienced had I just, just stuck with basketball or just anything. Just being able to travel around the country and being able to bring my mom, because she also was able to go along.
Oh, that's dope.
And she got to experience some things, like the wall, and her and my aunts came out. So I always say I feel like I'm blessed in that sense, because had I not had the opportunities, my mom would not have had the opportunities. And she had never been out the country until I turned professional and was able to travel the world. So she was able to travel with me. So that's why I always say I'm blessed in that sense. But in 2008, yeah, Beijing was like my first real experience. And I ended up getting, at the time it was 5th, but now I'm officially 4th because we had a drug cheat. So she got kicked out. So officially 4th. But it was kind of devastating because I went in projected as the number. I went in projected to get 3rd, ended up 5th. I'm still kind of new to the sport and the whole thing, but I was kind of hurt, and I made a promise to myself that I would never get left off the podium again.
Okay.
And once I made that promise, I went 4 to 5 years straight without losing. So it just shows that how much dedication I had put in, because I didn't want to feel that feeling that I had in 2008.
No, I feel you on that. So you said you went 4 or 5 years straight without losing. Can you chat me up about the pro leagues of track and field?
Yeah, so I went 4 to 5 years without losing a major championship. Let me switch it around now. I lost some meets, but the major championships I didn't. To me, I'm hard to beat, because I'm so dedicated. I'm a student to my sport. Like, I pay attention to details of everything. So I'm pretty hard to beat. So, and to this day, I mean, I'm the old head now, but everybody knows that it ain't over until I'm finished. Until I finish jumping, then we can talk. Then you can celebrate. Don't celebrate until I'm done. But yeah, it's just those last few years. I won indoor, outdoor. I won Olympics. Everything just was just flowing perfectly. Had some PRs, like some personal best in there.
Right.
I'm now I think it's 8 or 9, maybe like 9 or 10 time USA champion. Like, I've won those back to back, along with winning major championships. So it just shows the testament of what I've been doing.
Okay. Am I tripping, or did I see somewhere that you wanted to possibly compete for a relay?
Do a relay for
the Olympics of 2020.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm not fast enough for them girls.
Okay. Yeah, I understand.
I've ran relays, but I haven't never ran on that caliber, because them girls be rolling like they ain't got to smoke me. So I stay in my lane on that.
I feel you. So look, you from Mississippi, and we got a lot of talent coming out of Mississippi. We got you, we got Tori Boo, we got BK. Chat me up about 2012 and 2016, what it was like going to the other countries with these girls being from the same state.
We have believe it or not, it was a lot of reputation, like a lot of people from Mississippi. We also have Sam Kendricks, who is the reigning, I don't know if he won the Olympics, but I know he's won so many world championships and things like that in the pogo. And you would be surprised. I mean, we're not as deep as Texas and Florida.
Right.
But when we have team meetings, oh man, we're in there. So it's about 5 or 6 of us in there from Mississippi. So it's pretty big for us to be to showcase that we have that talent. And that brings me to a point to where where I've been trying to talk and connect with a lot of people down in the South on trying to find ways to get kids more exposure from Mississippi. Because I was telling you, me growing up, I didn't know anything about summer track. I didn't know things about the opportunities that was handed to me, because everybody that were coaching me, or my mom, and we all just didn't know. But there are so many opportunities for these kids in Gulfport, and not just Gulfport, but just Mississippi in general. So we'll definitely be getting together with Bianca Knight and possibly Tori Bowie, because she's in the Hattiesburg area.
Right.
Because I want to kind of touch every region, and we're going to get together and try to find ways to put together some track clubs, some track teams to get these kids out there and get that exposure that they are missing as of right now.
Right. Yeah, BK's been doing the track meet for like the last 3 years up in the Richmond
Yeah.
area.
So I talked to her about that. I want to do something similar, but she retired quick enough to where she could like get her things going.
Right.
Next year is my last year, regardless. So I'm going to bring something like that towards the South.
Okay. So chat me up, man. Chat me up, Brittney, about how your feelings about the Olympics being postponed. I know you were looking forward to it.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it. I said 2020, possibly 2021 would be my last 1 to 2 years. And when we got the news that I was possibly going to get pushed back a year, I was kind of devastated. I was kind of sad because I was looking forward to it. Everything that I've been doing in practice was coming together. Everything was clicking. I was jumping consistently 7 meters in practices, and I just was feeling good. I was doing everything that I needed to do to get to that point. And now that things have changed, it just put in my mind that now it's instead of instead of it being a sad thing, think of it as a positive thing, that now I can work on those small things that I didn't get the chance to work on, the small things that I wasn't working on that I can work on now. It gives me an opportunity to be a little bit more healthy, because I'm 33 now. So I have to be really, really careful in my training and what I do, because I can get hurt just like that. So if I'm careful and I pay attention to the details and I study a little bit more, I can use this time as an advantage for me. So it actually, for me, it kind of works out in the end.
Okay, good deal. So you said everything was clicking and whatnot in your training process. What does your training process look like maybe a year out from the Olympics, traditionally speaking?
Yeah, so right now, like, my training is kind of like indecisive, because we don't know if we're still going to have a track season, with everything still going on, because majority of track revolves around going overseas and being able to compete overseas and make money. And if we can't go overseas, then there's really kind of almost no point of us really having a season. So as of right now, it's just up in the air. I started back doing more general things. I haven't been able to actually jump since early April or late March, and something like that. So for long jump, it's real technical, and I have to be able to jump. So it looks like to me that I probably will be shutting down this year around September, if possible, and then just kicking it back up in October and getting ready for Indoor World Championships in 2021 before I go to Olympics.
Okay, all right, good deal. So one of the big questions I always wanted to know is, how are track and field athletes paid and funded?
I can hear you. Say that one more time. Sorry.
How are track and field athletes paid and funded? How are you?
Okay. Yeah. So for us, I'm sponsored by Nike. So I get paid through Nike. Everybody's not track and field. I wouldn't say it's a poor sport, but it's not. You have to be one of the elites to be really getting paid.
Right.
You can get paid through Nike, you can get paid through Adidas, you can get paid through Puma, and I think Brooks and Asics, and that's about it. You have little sponsorships on the side, but you make your bulk of the money by going overseas and competing and being in those type of championships. Being top in the world is how you kind of really get paid in our sport.
Okay, good deal. So who are some of your top 5? Well, before I get there, let's talk about your family a little bit. Are there any other athletes in your family?
Honestly, no. Surprisingly, I know everybody. I tell people like, my mom didn't really do sports. My dad didn't really do sports. My uncles played basketball. But other than that, that's about it. Like my family is not. Now I have a sports household. Like my family loves sports,
Right.
but none of them got to the level that I was like. A lot of them just was like high school, and just that was it. So for me, I'm like, I do have a cousin that played in the NFL. He's retired now, but that's about it.
Okay. All right. So what is your passion about the sport of track and field?
I just love the sport in general, and just competing, being able to compete and showcase my talents. Like I told you earlier, I've always been a jumper, and I always love to jump, and I always like to jump and touch ceilings, jump and touch all. Like that just was me as a kid. So it was no brainer for me to know when I realized my bounce, where I got it from, because I always was that type of a kid to always be jumping and doing some stuff. But my passion, I do this for. I have a 12-year-old son. I do it for him. I do it for my family. I do it especially for my mom, because she was a single parent at the time, and just always wanted to make her proud and be able to give her the things that I felt that she deserves, and I've definitely achieved that.
Okay, good deal, good deal. What was your feelings and emotions when you were being rewarded with that gold medal?
The Olympic medal?
Yes.
I mean, I was crying. In 2000, like I told you earlier, in 2008, when I lost, I was devastated. So putting in that work that I put in that 4 years, and to finally get the medal that I've been working so hard for. I mean, I cried. So that my last jump, I was just overjoyed with happiness, because I put so much work in, and I worked so hard to get to where I was at, and my goal has finally been reached. I've achieved the highest medal that you can achieve in our sport, and everybody don't get that opportunity to go to the Olympics, let alone get a medal coming out of the Olympics. So for me to get a gold medal, it was a blessing, and I was really grateful and humble for everything. Like I was just, man, my coach, I mean, I don't know how long I cried. I cried all day, like the entire day. I was so I'm good now, but I was crying.
That's completely understandable. That is completely understandable. Austin, come on in, man, and ask these next couple of questions.
All right, cool. How you doing again?
I'm
Brittney?
good.
I'm gonna tag in a little bit. All right, so I want to get into like some of the people that you admire and some of the athletes that you admire. So, who are some of the greatest athletes that you've came to like in your sport or just around the sports world?
So I've always been a LeBron fan, but over the years, you cannot deny the work that this man has done. He's built schools, he has scholarships, and that's the type of athlete that I want to, not only just me to admire, but my son to look up to. You want to be able to, as an athlete, I feel like every athlete wants to achieve something that LeBron has achieved, which is another reason why I want to get back into Mississippi and get back to Gulfport and try to find ways to utilize the youth the way that he does. And so for me, it's a no-brainer with LeBron.
Okay. I can respect that. So getting into that, some people call LeBron the GOAT and all of that, MJ. So like, what is I remember you said earlier, like your dedication and your hard work. So what is like your GOAT mentality for yourself?
Man, so in track and field, they call me B. Reese the Beast.
Okay. All right, then.
So they are, like I told you, they already know that I'm a tough competitor, and I like to bring out the inner beast. And
okay,
and a lot of the meets that I've won, honestly, they've been on my last attempt. So that's why they know, like, don't celebrate until I'm done, because I can pull a medal out in the last attempt. So
all right,
yeah, so that's what it is.
Okay, so in channeling your inner beast, what are some of the ways that you prepare yourself during the postponement of it, like during the training, like or the postponement of the Olympics?
So for right now, I've turned my gym. I mean, not my gym. I turned my garage into like a little makeshift gym, so I can get some things going. I've also I have a life coach that I speak to work on the mental side of my career on and off the track. So I keep in touch with her, and basically all I can do at this point. I mean, we just kind of like started like real practice, like we had hills or whatever on Monday, and we did little weights on Tuesday in my coach's garage. So we're just basically trying to put together things during the situation because our track is closed. So we have yet to be able to, and we're in California, so California is real strict. Everywhere, well, not everywhere, but majority of the places like Texas, where I'm at now, and Mississippi are a little bit more open than where I'm from, and we just now open our parks. So it's kind of like it's tough to get to a track where I'm at.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So would you move to another would you move to another state and try to go to one or go to another track?
As of right now, no, I wouldn't necessarily move because we're still unsure of where our season will go. So if my season doesn't really be anything serious, then I can just stay where I'm at and just focus on next year.
Okay. All right. So in your whole career or whatever, so like most people, I'm trying to get into your personality a little bit. So would you consider yourself one of the greatest to ever do long jumps? Or
honestly, yeah, because I have in total 10 medals. 8 of them are gold. So
okay, man. All right.
Not bragging or anything, but 8 of them are gold.
Yeah.
You would have said,
okay.
Yes, she is.
All right, I'm gonna turn it back over to Corey, and so you can have back at it, Coach.
I appreciate it, Austin. So Brittney, who are your Mount Rushmore track athletes?
Of track athletes, I would say Carl Lewis, Jackie Joyner Kersee, of course. She's a big idol of mine in the track. I cannot think of his name. He's a sprinter. I can't think of his name, but I know he won in Germany. What is the man's name? Not Jackie. It'll come to me, but him. He has a movie. I can't think of his name. Jesse Owens. There it is.
Owens, yeah.
Yeah, Jesse Owens. I was trying to think of. I knew he won in Germany.
You cut out for a second, Brittney.
Oh, I said Usain Bolt.
Okay. So Carl Lewis, Jackie Joyner Kersee, Jesse Owens, and Usain Bolt.
Yep.
Okay, good deal. All right, now you mentioned Jackie Joyner Kersee. Who are some other female athletes you looked up to or that you kind of admire?
Yeah, she was the main one that I looked up to. I'm blessed and honored to be able to contact her if I need her.
Oh, that's good.
She's a big fan of mine. I'm a big fan of hers, and it's crazy because she's rooting for me to break her record. So I broke one, so she's rooting for me to break the American record and take it from her. So just to be honored to be able to, be able to contact her and send her videos and things like that. And I mean, as a track athlete, you can't ask for anything else.
Right. Now, who are some of the greatest athletes that you've competed against on any level?
On any level, I've got to compete with Allison Felix in a relay once.
Okay.
I could definitely put her on the Mount Rushmore also.
Right.
Yeah, she's dope. I don't think I've got to compete with Bianca Knight, but a lot of the greats that I feel like I've competed against were mainly sprinters, but the greatest one for sure is Allison Felix.
Okay, good deal. Explain your personality on how life is away from the track or some funny moments.
Right now, my personality, I'm real chill right now, despite everything that's going on with all these killings. You know, I'm real chill, but play video games, shop, hang around my son, coached him for a little bit. Then I stopped coaching him because he wasn't working.
Okay.
He's 12, so you know he's at that age. But you know, I'm just chill and mellow. Like I'm a homebody. I don't mind being at home. So the coronavirus isn't stopping nothing over here. This is what I've been doing all along anyway.
Right.
But yeah, that's basically all I've been sitting around doing.
Okay. Now you had a tweet not too long ago, probably a couple weeks ago, talking about how you train your son, or if you need a resume to send out to somebody. Can you go into that?
Yeah. So I just I've been able to like not throw my son off, but just get on like different apps and try to find coaches for my son, whether it's football, baseball, things like that. So I just thought about how does it feel like a professional athlete for me if I'm looking at, so just for an example, if I'm looking at LeBron James and I'm asking LeBron, and LeBron says I can coach your son, or I'm just coming to LeBron and asking, can you coach my son? I wouldn't ask LeBron for a resume.
Right.
That's just me personally. So if somebody was to come to ask me for a resume, I wouldn't know how to feel. So that's where I came out with the question: would you ask a person like a top athlete in their sport? Would you ask that top athlete for a resume? Which came from the question of would you ask anybody for a resume, basically. But I was trying to hint at getting a top athlete, not just anybody, because I would just, for me, if it was just anybody, I would ask for a resume. Maybe not so much sources, but I would ask for a resume.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm asking a top athlete in their sport, I'm not looking for a resume. That's just me personally.
Yeah. I remember seeing that question. I'm like, me personally, I would if it's you and I came to ask you,
Right.
Why would I need a resume or
a resume? Yeah.
If I know who you are?
And that's how I felt. That's how I felt about the situation. I mean, I got a lot of positive feedback. I mean, I had one person that just took it and ran with it and tried to be, how some people be. But other than that, I got a lot of positive feedback on it. I learned a lot from that situation, so I wasn't complaining.
Okay. All right. So where in California do you live?
I'm in San Diego.
Okay. So kind of chat me up, man, about how it is right now. I know it's basically on shutdown right now. My brother-in-law lives in San Francisco.
Okay.
So chat me up on how it is with the George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery situations and the protests going on.
Yeah, so I feel like California would be one of the last states to open up, to be honest. Like I just told you earlier, like we just opened parks last week. And everybody else, I'm watching everybody else play outside. I'm watching everybody else go to Target without mask on. And you can't go nowhere out here without a mask. Like you can't even go into a gas station. There's nowhere in where I live, especially, there's nowhere you can go without a mask. So, but just to be in Texas right now and see people walking around with no mask, I'm like, well, when we gonna join the party? Because
right.
I'm tired of wearing them. I can't breathe with my mask. I'm tired of that.
Same here.
I'm a low-key claustrophobic. I'm tired of this mask. But yeah, I feel like California is probably gonna be the last ones to open up. But like, it's not that big of a deal. I'd rather be safe than sorry, and it just depends on if people gonna take it serious or not. I'm not trying to catch corona, so whatever they feel is right is what they say.
I feel you on that. I definitely feel you on that. So before we get you out of here, chat me up on some of the charitable work you've had in store for the Gulf Coast region.
Yeah, so my first one was I gave away 100 turkeys to the radio station, churches. I don't know if you heard of Feed My Sheep back in Gulfport. There's a Feed My Sheep. I gave 50 turkeys to them. And I also have a scholarship that it gives out $500 per one male and one female, and basically just write like a little 1 or 2 page essay of whatever the topic was. I was coordinating that with Gulfport High, and whatever the topic that they felt it was, they would, whoever submitted, they would just send me the top 3, and I would just choose who I felt that was not more deserving, but who I felt was the top candidate. And then I have another scholarship that I do in Baltimore.
Okay.
The reason why I do in Baltimore is that's where my agent is from, and me and my agent are real close. So I wanted to do something for his community also. And not too long ago, when Black Panther came out, I rented out the theater for kids to go out and be able to watch Black Panther. And I'm working on some other things that in the upcoming year or 2 will be put in place for Gulfport, for the youth. I'm trying to not just Gulfport, to be honest. I'm trying to make it something big, but I got to get all the right deets.
Nah, nothing wrong with that. I feel you on that.
Yeah.
Definitely feel you on that. You got anything else on your mind you want to get out before we let you go?
No, I think y'all covered everything. Y'all hit a lot of good stuff.
Good deal. Austin, you got anything you want to add?
Nah, I don't, cause I ain't got nothing. I think that was pretty good.
Hey, Brittney, before we get you out of here, again, we definitely appreciate you coming on. Shout out your social medias.
I couldn't hear you say that again.
Shout out your social media.
Oh yeah, so Twitter, you can follow me on the LJ Beast, DALJ Beast. You can find me on Facebook, same thing, Brittney Reese / the LJ Beast. Instagram, same thing, the LJ Beast. Yeah, follow me. I follow back sometimes, and just long as you acting crazy.
Make sure to follow me back.
I can follow you back. I follow y'all back. I don't really kind of follow people that I know, but as long as you ain't acting crazy on it, I'm good.
All right.
Cool. Well, hey, Brittney, we definitely appreciate you coming on with us, and good luck next year, and good luck with all the training.
I thank you so much. I appreciate y'all.
Bring back another goal.
You know it. Last one, best one.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and this has been another episode of For the Health of It. I'm your host, Corian K. Paget, and thank you for listening.